Hi everyone. So I'm not headless in this video. This is an about me video. I was tagged by my buddy Jennifer Lewis, who's also a vlogger, and she's in several of the Facebook groups that I'm in as well. So there's 29 questions, and I'm going to try to really stay on point here and not elaborate a whole bunch. But if I do, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to keep this video as short as I can, because, you know, if you've seen any of my videos, I kind of ramble on and on. And I'm doing that right now. So my camera is a little bit cocked, and I'm really sorry, but it's so early in the morning that I don't really care. You get to watch me on a slant. So, number one, my name is Anna Kalia. If you had ordered from me before, my card does say Andrea, and that's because that's my English name. Most people don't know how to say my first name, so it's just easier. I don't go by either of those names normally, though, and I'm looking at my paper that's right here, so I wrote all the questions down, and I'm kind of shy. I don't like to look straight or directly at the camera. It's like, don't go into the light. But my nickname is Andy, or BB, which was part of one of my other companies that I had several years ago. Roller, and probably the most common one over the last about 8 years is Sushi. My birthday is July 28th, and so this summer I turned 40. I was born in California. My dad was in the military, so my sisters and I were all born in different states, but my parents are originally from Hawaii. And so I did most of my growing up there. My zodiac sign, I'm on number 5, is a Leo. Both my husband and I are Leos, or a rabbit in the Chinese zodiac. My occupation, I'm a domestic engineer. Now, I have been a stay-at-home mom for both of my children so far. I have 2 children. My daughter is 23. My son is 15. I owned 2 other businesses, Hawaiian Body Benefits and Makana Hawaii. And now I have Krabby Patties. But I started my businesses so that I could be home for my children. However, I have worked outside the home. My hair color, pretty much black, except for where I bleached and colored, and there's some of it. My hair length right now, it's just below my knees, the back of my knee. I cut about 8 to 10 inches off this summer, and I cut 4 to 6 inches probably every 3 months or so. My eye color is black. Best feature, probably my hair. Everybody comments on it. Braces, I never had. As you can probably see, the bottom is pretty crooked. My top is not too bad. Both of my sisters had braces, and my parents got divorced, and so they couldn't really come to an agreement on paying for braces, so I never got them. Piercings, I'm on number 12. Besides my regular ear piercings, I also had, I don't have them anymore. I had piercings all the way up here. I had eyebrow piercing. I pierced my nose, but I didn't keep it in because it just made me sneeze a whole bunch. My belly button was pierced, but it migrated because at the time I was so skinny that I didn't have a whole bunch of skin to grab onto there. So it was really a surface type of piercing more so. I have my labret, and I have a tongue piercing. And it's set really back because when I had gotten it done back in '96. I was working in an OBGYN and I wanted to stay professional, so people didn't always see it when I talked. And I love tattoos, but I haven't gotten any very recently, just because money is going to other things. I don't want to spend that money on something so frivolous. But I always tell my kids, if you're going to go into something extreme like that, start off with piercing, because those can always be removed, and to always have your tattoos hidden. Until you get older, at least you can hide your tattoos, depending on which profession you're going to be in. So I do have quite a bit of tattoos, but you can't see them, although my eyeliner is tattooed. And I'm going off topic here. So, number 13, am I left or right-handed? I'm right-handed, but my left hand is not totally useless. I can still paint my nails. First award, I was a rotten kid. I wasn't a very good student, but I tested out of high school early, at 15, and that's when I got pregnant. And I think my first biggest award would have been my valedictorian award when I was in college. The first sport that I played or did, I would have to say gymnastics, but I think my parents just put me in there because my oldest sister was preparing for the Olympics. Sadly, she, I think, tore her ACL. I remember her having surgery and having a leg brace, but she couldn't compete. And then, I don't know, after that I can remember that I was really in, it was track. I was one of the fastest girls in 7th and 8th grade, and I went to the Junior Olympics in Hawaii and got medals. First holiday, vacation, I'm guessing. I remember going to Ensenada, Mexico when I was young, probably 4, 5, or 6 years old. First concert. There's two that I can think of that I went to, and they're about the same time, and I can't remember who it was that I went to see for the second one, or for one of them. And I don't know which one came first, but the other one was Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, and Jamie Foxx was their opening act, and he sang, and it was so boring because it was all slow songs that pretty much everybody went outside and waited until Bone Thugs were on stage. And in Hawaii, this place was basically a garage or warehouse. There's a big sliding door, like a garage door. And so they had big industrial fans in the building, and there was no air conditioning. And somebody sprayed pepper spray in the fans, and everybody was evacuated. So that was kind of crappy. Favorite TV show? I get in these moods where all I want to watch is scary stuff, or and this goes for number 19 as well, my favorite film. But I get in these moods that I only want to watch scary stuff, or I only want to watch comedies, or only watch documentaries. And so I don't really have a whole bunch of favorite shows. I would say that probably Outlander right now is the one that I've been trying to follow, and it should be starting up soon, hopefully. It's a new Outlander, not the ones that we had way back then. But it is from my favorite book, which is another of these questions, by Diana Gabaldon. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. So probably The Outlander would be my favorite show. Other than that, I like to fall asleep to Survivor shows. I know it sounds stupid, but I fall asleep, and these shows kind of enter my dreams, and so I figured if I ever get stranded someplace, that maybe those things would stick in my head. Yeah, survival. Favorite film, I don't know. There's a few that even if I have them on a DVD and they're on TV, I'll stop and watch them. And one of them is The Fifth Element and The Green Mile. For some reason, A Knight's Tale. Favorite magazine? I don't really normally pick up magazines. I'll read them when I'm standing in line at the grocery store or in the doctor's office. So my favorite ones are the ones that the doctors allow me to take home. Favorite color? Probably aquas, teals. I like greens. And I like some oranges, and I like all those colors together. My favorite song. I have several favorite songs. I mean, it really just depends on the decade that you're asking. But I would have to say if you had to have one of my favorite songs, I would have to pick Jammin' by Bob Marley. And actually, a few of my favorite songs would be by Bob Marley. My favorite restaurant. I don't really have one favorite restaurant. I like sushi. But I like pastas also, and I like Mexican food. Yeah, I don't have a name for what restaurant I like the best. Favorite store. I hate shopping outside of the house, so I do most of my shopping online, but if I have to go like grocery shopping, I'll go to this place called Winco. It's kind of like a Costco, but on a smaller scale, and you don't have to buy in bulk. They probably have the best prices for groceries. My daughter actually works at a grocery store, and I pretty much refuse to shop there because it's too expensive for my taste. Favorite book is number 25. I have two favorite books that I read over and over again. And I read some of the series of the books, but I always go back to the first book. Because they're my favorites, but The Outlander, which is from that that TV show by Diana Gabaldon, and that old book, The Clan of the Cave Bear, which was turned into a movie in the 80s, I believe. But she just takes forever to write books, and her last book, it took like 10 years, maybe even more, I'm not sure. But I did buy it, and you know, I don't care so much for some of the newer books, which aren't really new now, but the very first book is always going to be one of my favorites. Favorite shop. Again, if you're talking about online, I don't have a specific shop that I always go to. It just depends on what exactly I'm looking for, but I always check like Amazon and eBay and whatnot, Google search, and then go to shopping. 27, we're almost done. How do you feel right now? I'm cold. I'm tired. I went to bed really late, and then I woke up really early, even before my husband, and he usually gets up around 4:30. And then I had to get up to make sure my son got all his football stuff and had some money so that he could eat because he has a game tonight and I don't want him to run out of fuel. And then I had to take my daughter to work. So the driving people around is kind of just wearing on me. This whole summer has been really hectic, chaotic, and I'm kind of burnt out. It is gloomy outside. I hope it clears up just a little bit because that game. Currently listening to, I'd say the last thing that I had up on my computer was Earn It by The Weeknd. I love that song. I love how he clips the words for some reason. I just like it. And it's been playing a lot in my car and on my phone and on my computer when I'm running around. Sorry, I can't see the paper. And the very last question, 29, is currently eating. Well, I didn't eat anything today. I finally had a cup of coffee. But my husband made some beef stew and some mac salad, and I'll probably be eating that in a little bit for lunch. And that is it. Okay, I didn't even go over half an hour. Yay! So I'm sorry if I didn't look at the camera again. I'm kind of just shy about doing that, and I'm not headless this time. So I didn't brush my hair or put on makeup or anything, and that's one of the reasons why I usually film without my head. But I'm going to tag Ashley Ann and Jasmine Dean. I don't know who was all tagged, and I didn't watch to see everybody or watch everybody's tag me, so I don't know who already did it. I guess I should have checked, but oh well. If you did it, I'll go and watch it. If not, if you want to. And I think that's it before I make this video really, really long. I have a cut video coming out. It was a request, so I'm going to try to get that done tomorrow and put that out, since I try to upload every Tuesdays. And those are specific cups. So I'll see you later. Bye.